G'day and welcome back for more Tram Engineers Survival or Clang Engineers or Space Engineers. I don't know, my tram's exploded and I don't like it. That's what we're back doing. I've had a couple of thoughts of some things I'd like to try and do with the tram to improve it and hopefully allow us to finally get this track finished, while also getting the tram a little more stable. First things first though, let's empty out this welder so that we can move everything back to the station, as I think it'll be much better to build down there than it is to build right here. So it looks like we lost the piston for this weld that's down here on the ground. Now, hopefully, we might actually be able to get away without the pistons at all for the welders, because the latest patch has definitely increased welder range back more to what it used to be in the good old days, which I'm very excited about, and should give us enough range to have clearance for the track and be able to weld it. But we'll test that and how it goes once we're back in the station. So, fingers crossed, we don't derail on our way back. Oh, I'm parked. I was wondering for a second why I wasn't moving. Oh, are we back good now? That was really strange. It was like the suspension had gone soft down to like 10% or 2% strength. I couldn't really get it to move properly. It's looking better now. I think part of my problem may actually be related to the fact that I've got probably too many stabilizing wheels. I'd originally felt like if I had more, it would be better, because, you know, more, bigger, better. But it looks like the more I have, the more likely I am to get things stuck. The other thing that I would like to try and do to improve this design, instead of having the suspension for the wheel over the track, we've actually got a fair bit of room to the side here. So what I was thinking was, if we have our armor come down to the side here, we could actually put our suspension out here like, well, I'm going to have to put it up here for the moment so the wheel places like this. Oh, still couldn't place the wheel anyway. But the idea would be that the wheels are resting on the track and there's a bit more play then, so we don't get the suspension block or these armor blocks colliding with the track. And I think that might actually end up working a bit better. Hopefully. It's going to require a bunch of pistons so that I can lift this whole thing up and push it up into the roof. But I think it might be worth testing that out at the same time as we do a redesign on the front. The reason I'm going to all this effort to try and come up with a better design for this front section is that this isn't the only track we're going to build. Because we're going to be building a track to the silo, if we've got a good design and the tram seems to be working, I can just keep using that same tram once we get over to building that other track. So it feels like it's more worthwhile, and that I'm not just, you know, designing for the heck of it. The other side of it is that if I come up with something that I'm really happy with, I may try and condense this down into a more easily digested tutorial that is just on how to build a tram line in survival that's this sort of style. But of course, if I'm going to do a tutorial on it, I really got to make sure that it's going to work properly. And right now, it's not exactly the smoothest of progress so far. Alrighty. We want the welder as close to the vehicle as possible. And I want to see if we can get the welder working without a piston. So the new range, I think, is supposed to be like 2 small grid blocks. So in theory, the welder here should work, but may even work if I put it up to there. Why don't we try that and just see? So we've got our welder. Let's grind our track away. Pop some steel plate in there, and then we will turn this little thing on and see if it fixes up that bit of track. Yes! Excellent. This is good. This is very good. Okay, so if we can get away with it at that height, that means that the top side one can go where? If that's a block, and then a block below, it could go there. This might not quite work out as well as I thought. What I was hoping to be able to do was get some conveyor tubes and put junctions on this one, a junction on this one, a pair of junctions in the center, and then we would actually be able to pipe these up fully to the rear connector, and then it would be worthwhile connecting this up, at least temporarily, to here so that I could load up the tram with everything I need. That way, this would also become our cargo tram for transporting all of our goods up to the solar axe. But that might not work. The challenge is going to be creating enough room to get these to join up. It's actually not as bad as I thought. This should actually be quite easy. If we grab these 3 blocks here, get rid of them, I'd be able to pop a conveyor junction in here, then go back a little bit with a conveyor frame, go up to a conveyor junction this way, and then that could join on to a conveyor junction that's on there. And that would be able to join the 2 up completely. So that could certainly work. Before I go and do all that though, what I do need to do with this tram is fix up its wheels. Right now it's missing some of them. Like, this doesn't have a wheel, so it's not doing anything at all. And I think we should start cutting down on the numbers of wheels too. For now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of a bunch of these wheels on top. Get rid of that one. Oh. Get rid of this one. I'm going to keep just 2 horizontal wheels up the top. So we'll get rid of this set entirely. And we'll also get rid of this set here. But... oh no, that should be okay. Hopefully I can drop this low enough by dropping out the bottom that I can place in another set of horizontals. Let's see if I can replace that wheel on the vertical while we're fiddling here. I need to get a view. No. Alright. Spectator it is, because I can't see anything. Horizontal, vertical, right. Add wheel. Nuts. Oh, wait. Wait. If I make all of the wheels really weak, all of these ones, I might be able to use the gyroscope to spin us a bit to one side. Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, that should be enough room to add the wheel. So horizontal, vertical, right, add wheel. Yeah, nice. Okay, so we might just be able to wrangle things in order to get these extra bits on that I want. So let's get rid of this one. Get rid of that. And hopefully the reduced numbers are going to reduce clang. Fingers crossed. We will surely find out soon. And while I'm reducing the number of wheels, I'm going to be increasing the number of pistons on this because I want to put the drills out the front on a bunch of stacked together pistons so that we can extend the drills out in front of us and then progress ahead into that space afterwards. Now you certainly could argue that I don't need any horizontal wheels up here, but it just makes me nervous not having anything to stabilize against that upper track. So I'm going to do, first off, this new idea for horizontal wheels I'm going to do up here. So with these horizontal wheels sticking onto the track, I need them to stick out just beyond where this vertical set is. So if it was here, it would stick out a fair bit beyond. If it was here, it may just get there, but possibly not. Let's have a look. Be easier to visualize. Is that, whoops. Oh, is that going to be enough? Or is that going to sit on the edge and create its own problems? I reckon that's going to sit on the edge and create its own problems. The good part of these suspensions is that these parts actually have no collision. As you can see, I can clip straight through it. So we only need to protect this block from running into the rail, which should be easily achievable. So we're on the right, so let's use our right wheels. Hopefully, in order to get these ones working, all I need to do is drop the strength of the suspension. That should give me plenty of room. If we're not low enough to be able to place wheels on these, that means it's going to be very difficult to place these wheels by lifting us up on pistons. Except, if I remove all of these horizontal wheels first, I'll then be able to drop a block lower, and it should actually give me more up-down clearance. I hope. I'm going to give it a go and hope it works out. I'm also going to keep an eye on that drifting pursuant and spiteful aggressor, although the spiteful aggressor looks like it's crashed. But there's a drifting pursuant that's coming in, so I need to pay attention to that. Aha! Excellent. Didn't need to do anything more. And for some reason, I think one of the rear wheels was kind of jamming it in place. That's okay. Alright, so this is kind of the new idea I was thinking of for these wheels. We've got two, one on each side, which are going to be able to push against the top rail, and then we've got these two that'll squeeze side to side and prevent that movement. And all without any blocks that have collisions getting terribly close to the track, which is much, much better. In order to lift this up so that I can mess with the wheels underneath, I think I'm going to need to put outriggers to the side here and put 4 pistons down. Any less than 4, and I strongly expect that everything would want to tilt one way or the other. And can we put another block on there before we put the piston? Okay, let's see what happens with these pistons. They're all at the same height, so we should just be able to start them all at once and it'll remain stable. Hopefully. Okay. The wheels are not happy, but it seems stable enough for the moment. It's given us plenty of room to work underneath though, so that's nice. Let's get to work before something decides to explode. That noise is very disconcerting. Oh man. It's not making me feel safe down here. I think we might need to grab those up horizontal wheels and turn their strength down to 0. No, they're still not happy. I think we need to not extend the pistons quite so far. How far are they? 2 meters. Okay. Let's go to maximum distance of 1.5. There we go. Now the wheels don't hate me. Drifting pursuant. Almost here. Oh wait. If I dock. Oh, I can't dock at the moment. Dang it. Dang it. No. No, I'm missing out. I don't get to... Oh wait. Wait. Oh, I'd have to control to look through the thing. Too nervous to fly up through here because I think I'll end up killing myself. Oh, I think I've missed everything. Ah, that's so disappointing. Oh, I was so slow. I think I need a seat downstairs so I can quickly get into a view. I definitely need to fix the tick and get it powered up again at some point. Oh. I saw nothing. Oh. I didn't check though. Did it manage to do me any damage this time? Nope. Everything's intact. Yay! At least that worked for this little attack. Definitely got to take out that base because it is the only one that's still attacking me. Stinging adversary. Not too worried about the littler ones. It's only the drifting pursuants that seem to cause enough problems because they're so big. The number of damaged blocks that I just ground out from underneath of this tram definitely should have done this sort of wheel design from the start. I'd done a fair bit of testing on this in Creative, but clearly there were still a few bugs and kinks to work out. It's kind of fun sometimes to do this improvement and iterative design in survival. I usually try for complex stuff like this to at least have played around with it a bit before going and building it in survival, so that I don't do any of the most obvious mistakes, but things like this I just had not thought about. Another nice advantage of these horizontal wheels being set up like this is we've still got 4 wheels on the bottom, but they're on just one row. So we could, in fact, with a wheel set up like this, double our wheels if we needed to, without increasing the number of points along the length of the tram that are in contact with the rail. So it should not negatively impact the ability for the tram to move up over the transitions to new slopes, which is quite convenient. It also means if we did end up with a very heavy tram that needed lots of wheels, we've got room for more, so we can have more wheels on board, which would be potentially useful in the future, depending on how heavy the battery or cargo trams need to be. And I think we will also get rid of this one, so that we've just got a single vertical top and bottom at each end. I think the double was probably excessive. Oh, I have a better idea than how I place these. I think I do want to add the extra row of wheels right now, but instead of having one in the center here, we don't actually need to have this offset from this wheel. We can actually put our suspension right there, and that'll mean all this wheel unit is right down next to each other. The reason I decided to do this just now, even though I thought 4 should be enough, is that I hadn't really taken into account the fact that I am using the side ones to drive the tram forward as well, and now I'm reducing them. I may well be reducing the pushing ability too far. Oh, stinging adversary. Oh, it's down. And it was down a fair distance away, I think. I hope. Oh, let's put a chair down. Chair. Then I can just see. Yeah. Okay. Camera. View. Ow. Ow. I can't. Oh, I built the chair and I was still too slow. Alright. 6K's out. Gotta keep an eye on that one. Gotta be ready for this one. So sick of missing it all and not seeing what's actually going on. Oh, I forgot to make the group. Oh no, wait. Upper horizontal. That's why there's extras. Show block in terminal off. There we go. Now there's 8. I was looking at it going, there's 12 wheels. That's too many. If you're wondering why I'm in a bit of a silly state of mind right now, it's because I haven't slept a lot in the last 2 days. So I'm just a little bit delirious. Let's hope that doesn't end in another merge block monstrosity like happened to the goose. Let's drop our pistons down so that we can grind them away. Moving beautifully. Not a clanging about. Yeah. Oh. It was bound to happen as soon as I said it. Oh, 9 minutes of power. Drifting pursuant. Where are you? 3.52 kilometers. Getting very close. So it looks like we still will get some sparks as we travel along. But then, you know, most even modern subways will have some sparks. Maybe. Metal on metal, something like that. But I still think this is going to work out much better. And maybe with some stiffer suspension settings, it'll almost totally eliminate the sparking issue. Okay, time to get in the chair. Camera. View. There we go, 1.7k's out. It's close. And it's doing a dawn raid on me. Okay, here it comes. Okay, it's lost its bottom how is it? Oh yeah, it's totally gone already. Briefly saw through to see that there was no turret on the top left. I guess that other one that got through and did some damage to the solar tower just got lucky. Oh well, that was much more successful. I'm very happy with that. So we're still getting a little bit of clanking, but it is reduced. There we go, got over that transition beautifully. Got over that one nicely. In fact, I think the transitions are being handled much better with fewer stabilizing wheels. I think for these turns, what I need is these ones to have slightly less strength. I think I put them up a bit too high. I think in some ways it actually copes with those corners better if I move a bit faster. Oh, I think some of the jamming is actually terrain. It's voxels that are jamming the wheels. Oh no, maybe not. No, I've managed to get stuck on the same section. You've got to be kidding me. Not cool. Not cool. Get off there. Ah. It's this transition. I wonder if it's too steep. Oh no. Goodbye. And you. Well, I'm gonna have to get those wheels back on now, but at least we got moving again. And it was much less dangerous than the last time. So I just fiddled around with the wheels a little bit, and I feel like the settings I've got now might be slightly better than what I had before. What I've done is I've put a lot of extra power through the lower wheels, but reduced their friction slightly, because I think on the right and left turn bends, what needs to happen is those wheels need to slip a bit on their surface, and they need to slip as the ones that are vertical grab onto the upper rail. What I've done to make the vertical ones bounce around less is I have made their friction 0. They also no longer provide any propulsion, so they are really just there as frictionless bumpers. So I think this will hopefully work out a bit nicer. Both the top and the bottom horizontal wheels provide propulsion, but because I know I can put so many more wheels underneath, I don't need to get propulsion from any other set, really. But this seems to be a better setting. We will find out if it works okay, but that's roughly what I've done. So, no friction on this one. Point with my drill. It's actually quite a decent pointer. Mid-level friction, but lots of power on these ones. And same with these horizontal ones. Seems to be the best setup when you're going to have gentle curves like this, or at least the best setup that I've tried so far. There might be better ones. And finally, after all of that fiddling, it's time to get on to putting the welders on the front. So, I should probably set these to charge. So we know that we can get this to weld if it is up that high. And then on this side, we need some more light armor. Okay, let's weld these up and see if they function for the track. I I think it should be alright based on what we saw before. Welders on. And both top and bottom track are done. Yeah. Let's grab our conveyor systems and let's try and sort them out. So we need, over here, we need one going like that. On this one, we need one that way. Let's get rid of these. And then, if we go with one like that there, and join it up underneath so that we can cut off the top section. Then we just need one like this. Whoops. Then we just need one like that. Another one like that. And then we can go toward the back. So we could put a... Why don't we just put a couple of tubes in first? Medium cargo. Another medium cargo. And... we need to get one block over. In order to get this conveyor junction's port to line up with this one, we need to move everything just slightly to our right. So I think the easiest way to do that, and I could well be wrong on this, is just going to be to pop one conveyor frame in there. Then we can go like that. Like that. And then like that. Jeez. I do actually think that is the only way to line that up so that the large ports still connect everything up. And that's the trouble here. We do need to have large ports all the way from the welders back to this connector back here. I wanted to remove this medium cargo container here so that I can bring the conveyor system down easily without having to move too much else. Since I think it makes more sense to bring the cargo system through like this. Have 3 cargo containers up there and then just have our conveyor system bend into the connector at the bottom there. I could have removed the cockpit and just joined it up like that, but I think this is going to get us closer to something that I can work with as a design later. So this is a much more complete tram. It's still very much only done with about half of my behind, but it is better. It's also going to be nice just piping this up. That shouldn't actually be too difficult to do at all. It's at this point where I've pretty much finished welding that I really hope I have aligned these conveyors properly, and I haven't. This one is wrong. This one is wrong. Dang it, dang it, dang it. No. There we are. Piped up welders. I said I wasn't going to do it initially because I thought it would be too hard to connect to, but now that we've got our increased range, it's so much easier. Cool. Didn't have to move the batteries either. Does look ridiculous though. Okie dokie. Now that we've done that, we're going to need... Let's grab that out of the way. Don't need it for the time being. Let's grab some blast doors. Because we're going to need to put our drills back on the front. Is that going to be happy with me? If we go with one piston there. Another one can stack straight on top of that. And then we can do our doubling across thing with our blast doors. Each one of these pistons will get me almost a large block deeper into the tunnel ahead of us. So if we can get maybe 6 of them, that would give us 5 probably, I think. My concern with putting these drills on the front is not clang, but my concern is that they'll wobble so much that they won't actually drill a straight enough hole. Oh, it looks like we'll only get 5 if I do it this way. So instead of going straight across, I think what we should do, if I really want to make this crazy and really want to try and get as much out of it as possible, if we instead go... Oh, if we instead don't start on this row. If I start down here, I can go all the way across and then all the way back. Looks like our attacks have stopped again for the time being. Oh no, I can still see the remote drone assembly. Dang it! Life just wants to prove me wrong today. This episode must be so reminiscent for those of you who have suffered from Clang's Wrath before, with physics going wonky and stuff exploding, and then you try and rebuild it, and you end up spending probably twice as long doing the rebuild as you spent on the initial build. But things end up being so much cooler in the end, I think. Maybe. Hopefully. I've kind of lost count of the number of pistons I've put in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, so we probably will get to the 8 that I was thinking. That's alright. That should be okay. And with shear inertia tensor on, these should pretty much not wobble at all. And I'm hoping because they're horizontal and the drills won't be actually picking up any ores, which should allow me to have, say, this piston here with shear inertia tensor on without having a really, really high max impulse. And the nice part about that is I'll be less likely to destroy the drill heads. One there and one attached to it directly. And that should do. So that'll be our drill head, and then with all of those pistons we'll probably be able to get out to about here-ish. And then we can retract it, and then we won't run into the track, and then we won't get our wedging problem that we had before because our welders have a huge gap of clearance, and our drills won't get stuck on anything. Yay! Now the only thing to fear is that Clang will decide to take me because I put too many pistons onto a tram that has too many wheels. And before I keep welding these up and making them behave strangely, let's disconnect. Let's grab all of our pistons. Shear inertia tensor. There we go. Whoa! Boom. Is boom okay? Okay. Everything seems to be okay. That was slightly terrifying. Okay, now the base is gone again. So once that drifting pursuant is handled, we've got another reprieve to focus on construction without distraction. Alright, drills are in. Let's test them out. If we go and start our drills up, press K, and then extend. Whoa. That thing's long. Oh, that's awesome. Punches out so much further than what I had before. Yeah. And it also looks relatively stable. Not perfectly stable, but relatively. Now, this is the other question. Is it going to come all the way back? Yes, because sometimes the pistons don't like to when they're under a bit of stress. We're going to make that extend slower because minus 0.05. How fast is that going to extend? Yeah, that's probably more matched to the speed that the drill can actually clear out the stone. Cool. Well, with that piston tested, I think this tram is pretty well where I need it to be. Obviously, a bit more charge would be nice, but I want to go test it out properly. Oh, wait a second. Before I go too far, I think it might be nice to put a light on the front. Oh no! 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 Oh! I got to see some of the fireball. Oh. It went a lot further off to camera right than I was expecting. Down she goes. Blammo. Oh jeez, lots of wreckage in our front yard. If I pop one there and pop one on the other side, it means we'll actually be able to see where the drill head's at, which would be helpful. Oh, I forgot to set up the connector properly. Oh well. I'm going to run out of charge before I run out of plates, so that's okay. But we will be able to set up that connector to hook up to the base's conveyor system properly with great ease. And then be able to load this up much more quickly for every subsequent trip. This is going smoothly so far. Now we've got the tough corners. Keep up some speed. Made it around those. Yeah. Alright, now we're on the straight section. Huh. Nice. I feel like that went a lot more smoothly than on previous attempts. And for those of you hoping for barbecued Splitsie, I have realized that I don't have my welder safety sensor built, and I will replace it, hopefully, before I get cooked. Oh, I'm so happy with how this has turned out. This is definitely going to need some stylistic improvements over time, but this is a much more complete tram than what we had last time. So I am much more happy with it. Jeez, how far did we make it? I feel like I've been going much further than I believed the tram line went. I'm also moving very, very slowly. I'm not sure... Oh, oh! Yikes, that was too close. Alright, our welders are actually probably going to work better than the last ones. Because I think, at times, the welders themselves were actually the issue stopping the blocks from being placed. Let's put our park brake on. Let's get in a little closer. And... drills on. Oh, that's right, because I've swapped the extra block from being on the top of the rail to the extra block being on the bottom. It's... the drill's going to look a bit different. That's okay. And extend. I think we can make that faster. 0.1. Yeah. This is heaps better. Look at that. Extend it out. Then I should be able to retract, unpark, and go and weld it as the drills stay where they are. Except, no, probably not. Turn off the drills. So we stop getting those rocks. So this is kind of where we should have been at the end of last episode. With the tram moving off toward the solar axe and welding. But Clang decided to intervene, and we had to redo what we'd already done. But I think what we've redone is so much better than what we previously had that it was probably worth it. This is a much more robust system, and, well, I mean, that's a lot of pistons, so maybe it isn't more robust. But I feel like it's a more robust system. It's also a more functional system because we've got the piped up welders so that we can actually carry a decent amount of stuff. We don't have to manually load them because that was a big pain. So, all in all, I'm happy. Very happy. Happy to use this to get the rest of the way to the solar axe. Which sadly is going to happen next time, or in between this time and next time, maybe in a time lapse. Who knows? We'll find out. So there's that, and plenty more to come. And I will see you then.